Hey guys, Natasha Tessier here, Dwell Realty and Design. Welcome to my channel. If you want to know anything and everything about the city of Houston and moving here, please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell, as that'll notify you of new videos coming up. Hi guys, I'm Natasha Tessier. I was born and raised in the state of Texas, in Houston, spent 10 years in San Antonio, taught in Katy, lived in Houston, lived in Tomball, now live in Montgomery. Anything and everything to do with the city of Houston and even all of Texas, I would love to be a resource for you as you make your move across the country. Today, I wanted to talk about the real stuff you need to know before moving to Texas. Part of this is a little bit funny on my notes, and part of it is just things I think you guys should know. So first thing we're gonna talk about, we talked about it before, we do not have a state income tax. We're one of the few states that don't have a state income tax, but we do have property tax. And that property tax can range from 1.5 to, I think 3.7 is the highest I've seen. So depending on the cost of the home and the rate, and every rate is determined differently in every single neighborhood depending on your county, your schools. There's a whole equation that goes into it. We also have things like homestead exemptions we can apply for if this is your primary home. They're gonna take certain amount off of the value before they give you your property tax quote. So all those things go into that. I have a property tax video. I can link it below. You can go into a lot more detail. Also, if you're a veteran, there's a lot of savings on disability and things like that with property taxes. Also, we also have over 65 exemptions. So lots of ways to break that number down. So we don't have a state income tax, but we do have property tax and you need to be aware of it. Number two is gonna be schools. So Texas is ranked 34th in the nation for our public schools, which is kind of surprising to me. My kids have lived in Alabama. I went to school in Colorado. I'm kind of surprised that we're rated that low, but they're just like anywhere. There's a lot of great schools, and then there's a lot of not so great schools. I always tell my clients, look on the HAR app. At the very bottom, you can scroll down and it is gonna tell you student-teacher ratio, demographics, scores, everything you need to know about that school is going to be on the HAR app. If you're wanting to know, how an area is, the elementary school is kind of everything around that area. Obviously, the high school is way more spread out and covers a lot more territory. We also have great homeschooling groups I can hook you up with, Montessori schools. My kids have been in private schools. There's lots of different schools. And then of course, I've talked about the colleges before. We have so many to offer, and a lot of my clients are moving here because, seniors in high school are applying to, A&M, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, UTSA, Rice, U of H. I mean, there's too many to list. So lots of great colleges and places for your kids to attend at that level too. Okay, number three, the weather. The thing you have to know about the weather. Texas is hot. It doesn't matter. I mean, yes, it's a little more humid in Houston than it is, say, in Dallas, but it's just hot. The summers are hot, especially July and August. I think it's a trade-off. If you like kind of green areas, you're gonna like Houston better. I mean, the reason it's green is because it rains more. It's closer to the coast. So I find from a lot of clients, oh, we don't like Dallas. It's really brown and not so green and full of tall trees. Same with San Antonio, but they also cool off a little bit more in the evenings of the summer because of the drier temperatures. So it's a trade-off. I don't mind the humidity, and in the summers we live in the pool, or, we surf on Lake Conroe, we go down to Galveston, like we just stay in the water all the time. That's kind of how we combat the heat, but it is hot. I don't struggle with allergies. Nobody in my family does, fortunately, but I do know that people do struggle with allergies. The pollen, it's kind of funny. In the spring, it just happened. It kind of turns yellow here in the state, and the pollen comes out and then it, washes away. It takes a couple weeks and then you don't see it again. But I've heard people that don't have allergies get to Texas and they have awful mold, pollen, cedar. I don't know. I don't have allergies, so I don't know if it's any more or any less than somewhere else, but I've heard that the allergies can be bad. I know that a lot of people that live in San Antonio struggle with a lot of the allergies, or a lot of my friends did. So that's another thing. Where to move in Texas is the next thing. So Texas is huge. I'm gonna show you guys a map. There's so many great places to live here. From, Houston, in the center of Houston, to all the different suburbs that we serve, San Antonio, New Braunfels, the Hill Country. You can go to Austin and have all the lakes. You can go up to Dallas. You can go to Plano. I mean, there are so many great places to live. If you are confused on where to live in Texas, or you need a great agent who is going to be able to win bidding wars, answer their phone. A lot of agents don't answer their phones. Reach out to me. I know I have agents all over the state that I can highly, highly recommend. And I know they're gonna take good care of you and they're gonna find you the house. I would not go in blindly and just find an agent. You can look on each local MLS and see how many homes they are selling. If they only sold 3 homes in, say, 2021, I maybe would find somebody else who has a little bit more experience, especially in the market that we're in and trying to win bidding wars, because there are a lot of tricks that you can do and things like that. So if you need an agent anywhere in the state, please reach out. Happy to recommend them. I have one literally in almost every single location, so reach out for that. Okay, culture. So the one thing I hear from my clients is how nice everybody is in Texas, and they are. They are super nice people here. When I moved away and I came back, I forgot how nice they are. They're gonna bake you cookies. They're gonna open their garage and ask you to come sit in the garage and have a beer with them. It's just a very, very friendly state. They're gonna tell you to have a blessed day at the grocery store. It's just very friendly. So if you're gonna move here, learn to be friendly, learn to be okay with hanging out with your neighbors and having them, you know, show up with cookies on your first day moving in. Lots of outdoor, like with being friendly, they love like outdoor venues and places. I was just in Austin up by Lake Travis this past weekend, and it's very common to go to an indoor-outdoor venue with, you know, garage doors open and people sitting on the patio and a band, you know, playing on the lawn and different outdoor venues. People love to be outside here. Woodlands Mitchell Pavilion, all the time in the Woodlands, you've got outdoor concerts, people riding bikes and going to the parks and all that. So if you like the outdoors, Texas is a good place. Outdoor, you know, you can hike, there's tons of trails, national forest all around. So if you like being outside, it's a good place for you. And then the next thing I'm gonna talk about are the words in Texas that are confusing to people. So some things you may wanna know. People call a Coke just, that's all soft drinks is a Coke. It doesn't necessarily mean Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper. It just Coke as a carbonated drink. Bless your heart, like when something happens, instead of saying, oh, I'm so sorry, a lot of people will use the term bless your heart. Y'all, obviously, we all say y'all, it just means you guys. And if somebody says this ain't my first rodeo, obviously the rodeo is huge here. What they're saying is like, this isn't my first time to do this. I know what I'm doing. And then different places, at least locally, that some of my clients are like, how in the world do you pronounce that? We have a street out towards Tomball. It's called Kirkendall, but it's spelled really weird. I'll put it on here, but it's pronounced Kirkendall. And then also Waxahachie is another one. There's some really weird words here that, like Waxahachie is, you know, W-A-X, but it's not pronounced that way. So some funky words to get used to. And then the last thing of advice I would give you if you're moving to Texas is don't brag, don't come here and brag about, oh my gosh, I got, you know, $2 million for my house in California and, you know, where you came from. I think people are nervous about Texans accepting everybody. They'll accept anybody. I mean, they're very friendly. I just wouldn't walk around, you know, bragging about, you know, hey, I made this profit and it's, you know, so cheap to live here and blah, 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 blah. I would just be friendly with them and they're gonna be friendly back with you. And like I said, they'll probably ask you to come over and have a beer or a margarita and hang out with them on a Friday night. So I hope this video is helpful. I just wanted you guys to know some of the stuff you need to know before moving here. We do have some great videos planned. I've had people ask me about all the VA stuff and moving here as a veteran. I'm gonna interview one of our lenders who deals with VA loans and talk about property tax and things like that. If you have another video, please comment below that you want, or if you have any suggestions or need any questions, please comment below. We do have a new form that we're asking you to fill out. That comes through, we set up a Zoom with you and try to figure out how we can help you best with your move to the state of Texas. So I hope this is helpful and I hope you have a blessed day.